Welcome back once again to the What Up Play Cricket Show. Today's topic of discussion is a very important series in our Indian domestic circuit. It's the Syed Mushtaq Ali tournament. Due to the current COVID situation, the Indian domestic season has been pushed to the brink, with most likely just one of the tournaments to be held, and that is the Syed Mushtaq Ali tournament. The Ranji also may not be played. This particular tournament was launched in the year 2006 by the BCCI and then renamed as the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy in the year 2009. It was named after the famous batsman Mushtaq Ali, who was the first Indian to score a Test century. The current tournament is going to be played across 7 different venues with a host of 169 matches to be played. Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Vadodara, Indore, and of course the finals to be played in Ahmedabad. Without further ado, let me introduce you to our 2 What Up Play members, Vishak and Mithun. Hello guys.
Hi Akash.
So Mithun here has a very interesting trivia regarding the Syed Mushtaq Ali tournament. Over to you, Mithun.
Yeah, definitely. So as Akash mentioned, Mushtaq Ali is the first Indian batsman to score a Test century. He was a very aggressive batsman who played both as an opener as well as a middle-order batsman and bowled a little bit of off-spin at times. Because of World War II, he couldn't play much cricket to India. Even though he just played 11 to 12 Test matches, he made a great impact to the Indian cricket at the start of the cricket in India. So that's why Syed Mushtaq Ali is a tournament named after him when he passed away in the year 2005. And this is a very good platform for the youngsters in the T20 area because he was a very aggressive batsman. So that's why they named this tournament out after him. Yeah.
Interesting point you made there. Aggressive. So this tournament is all about fast hits and pace out there. So why do you think this particular tournament is important, especially ahead of the most important IPL 2021 auction, which is to be held in February 11?
Definitely, looking at the current pandemic situation, and India is planning to host a very big tournament, which is IPL, during this time. This is like a preparation for them to see how well they will be able to organize a bio bubble tournament in Indian conditions. So that will be like a preparatory for them before they host it. And also, as a tournament is happening in India, you will always prefer a better domestic players to coming along and performing at the IPL stage. So they can pick the best players. Each team can pick the best players by looking at their performances in the Mushtaq Ali Trophy. So each team will be keenly observing their pool of players whomever they've shortlisted and see how they perform. So, and most of the Indian players who were injured recently are making a comeback. So all eyes will be on them because this is the only domestic tournament which is going to happen looking at the current situation. So everybody will be trying to make a point and prove themselves they are capable with the T20 World Cup around the corner. So it will be a very good platform. Yeah.
Yeah, as Mithun mentioned, it is a very good platform considering this is the only domestic series which is happening throughout this season. Ideally, we have 3 trophies, which is like the Ranji Trophy, which is a longer format, then the Vijay Hazare, followed by this Syed Mushtaq Ali. Now, those two it is highly unlikely that we are not playing those two, and it's only the Syed Mushtaq Ali. And definitely, this is going to be a very big audition for the IPL as well as the T20 World Cup, as Mithun mentioned. And it gives a very good platform for the IPL franchises. They'll be looking out for they'll be doing a huge talent hunt here. And they'll be looking for fresh talents and whatever holes they have within the team, especially teams like Chennai Super Kings, where a lot of players have aged, and they might be looking for some fresh talent. So such kind of teams will definitely be looking forward to this tournament and trying to get some fresh talent.
So are we going to miss Ranji this year? Because most of the first-class players, I don't think are part of the Syed Mushtaq Ali tournament. People who play just one, format of the game. So will Ranji be missed this year?
Definitely, Ranji will be missed for them because that is a major tournament for them because they highly depend on earnings through Ranji. If that's not happening, it will impact their income also. At same time, the tournament, if the tournament stops like this because of the pandemic, even the exposure for the youngsters will stop. it will be a huge loss for the cricket. Yeah.
Yeah, my personal opinion is that unless you learn to play the longer format, you're not a complete cricketer. So the Ranji Trophy is one of the major tournaments, and like as you evolve, you get better in 50 overs cricket and T20 cricket. So definitely, Ranji Trophy is one of the premier tournaments where you see major talents playing, most of the talents playing and performing, and slowly you can evolve into the shorter formats. So definitely, Ranji will be missed.
Talking about evolution, we do have classic examples as Rahul Dravid, Jack Callis, who have evolved from test batsmen to brilliant T20 players as well. So last 2 seasons in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, it was won by Karnataka, a formidable team in both the seasons. 2 other times were won by Gujarat and Baroda as well. How do you feel Karnataka is able to repeat this success in the last 2 seasons?
The main advantage for the Karnataka team is that the tenure of the players. So most of the players in the time in this team have been playing the domestic cricket for India for quite some time now. If you pick Karun Nair, it might be Abhimanyu Mithun, it might be, or Krishnappa Gautam, it might be, and then experienced players like KL Rahul, Mayank Agarwal have all set an eye this thing example for all the youngsters who are coming into the team. That has helped the team to build a wonderful platform so that they can anybody who comes into the team are performing really well. So that is the advantage. Yeah.
As Mithun mentioned, Karnataka has a like mix of very good experienced players and youngsters. We have a big host of international players like KL Rahul, Karun Nair, Abhimanyu Mithun, etc. So, like in between them, we have some very good proven IPL performers like Krishnappa Gautam, Jagdisha Suchet, Prasidh Krishna. So, like we have pretty much very good experience in playing in the T20 circuit. So that is the reason I think Karnataka is doing pretty well. But if you look at most of the other teams, they have quite a lot of debutants, and they don't have this much experience or exposure to T20 cricket. That is where I think Karnataka always holds an upper hand.
Are you guys surprised that Mumbai hasn't won a tournament till date? I mean, despite being the most formidable team in Ranji, they haven't won a single Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy till date.
Again, might be a topic of discussion or a debate. I feel because the Mumbai team highly rely on star players like Surya Kumar Yadav, Aditya Tare, Siddesh Lat, and it might be bowling. It might be Shardul Thakur. So one or the other on previous occasions, either of the players were missing because of their national duties, or it might be because they were not in good form. So because of that, Mumbai missed the opportunities previously. But this time they look to be a good team on the papers. Hopefully they'll be able to turn it around because Surya Kumar is out there to make a point and prove everyone that what he's capable of doing. So everybody will be closely watching Surya Kumar Yadav because England tour, which is around the corner, and he's already knocking the door to get into the team. So a lot of noise happening there. So he will be going out there to make a point. Yeah. Hopefully this time Mumbai will definitely make it up.
So I feel like as Mithun mentioned, Mumbai missed a lot of international stars and some of its domestic stars due to either India A tours or India tours. So they were little weakened by that, and they also had to go for some French players like Jai Vista and others for the T20 for this tournament. So this time I think they are pretty strong considering the pandemic. There are not much tours, so they are pretty strong this year. So I expect them to make at least the semis this year. Like anything further is just luck.
I can see a little Mumbai Indians fans sneaking in there. That particular T-shirt out there. So you are rooting for Mumbai this year, aren't you?
Yeah, I belonging to Karnataka. I'm rooting for Karnataka. But I would like for Mumbai to do well considering their domestic performances. Yeah, and definitely since I am a Mumbai fan, Mumbai Indians fan because of Sachin. That's a completely different case. But in domestic season, I definitely want Karnataka to do well.
Amazing.
Okay.
So Devdutt Padikkal and Sai Kishore, these were the big names which did pretty well last year. Devdutt Padikkal with 580 runs and Sai Kishore with 17 wickets. So who do you guys think will be the top run getter and the top wicket taker this year? Do you see any new names or old guns like Suresh Raina doing well?
So I personally feel Padikkal will definitely come good in this tournament because of his experience, what he has gained now in IPL will give him lot of confidence going into this tournament. So I don't see anyone else coming close to Devdutt Padikkal. So he'll be the front runner. And Sai Kishore is someone whom you just mentioned will be closely watched by all the selectors because now Ravindra Jadeja has been injured, so they might need a spinner for the first two match of England series also. So also keeping in that mind, Sai Kishore has done pretty well in TNPL, Tamil Nadu Premier League, and also with a stint with CSK. So he'll be itching to perform and get that place in the Indian team. Yeah, he's pretty young also. Yeah.
Like I'm looking for some fresh talents to do pretty well this year. If you look at today's matches, it was like Hari Nishant who scored 93, and there was a left-arm seamer from Gujarat, Arzan Nagwaswala, or something who picked up 6 for 90. So I am expecting some young talents to come through and do pretty well, but definitely expect the likes of Padikkal and all with their experience to do pretty well. And I think uh, it was pretty good to see Bhuvneshwar Kumar also making a comeback and pick 3 wickets despite their team losing. Yeah, but like I think it'll be good to see some more youngsters coming up in this series so that they can be picked up by more IPL teams and they get more exposure.
Be happy to see Abdul Samad scoring big because he was very highly rated youngster in the Sunrisers lineup. So he has started pretty well. What I saw in the last game against Karnataka yesterday, he has got 30 odd runs, quick 30 odd runs. He has to build upon that and make use of that opportunity of being the lead player in the what do you say, Jammu Kashmir team. Yeah.
As we speak, actually, the first round of the tournament has already been completed, and the usual suspects, Karnataka, Bengal, Tamil Nadu, seem to have romped across to victories here. Mm-hmm. So, moving on to the players, Santakumar and Srishant. This is a name which went to the very highs of exploits in South Africa, winning multiple World Cups, and then the lows of match fixing. He's now trying to make a comeback at the age of 37. What are your views regarding Santakumar and Srishant's comeback? Is he going to be the same swingy, aggressive bowler, or is it going to be the old self of him?
So I was personally a big fan of Srishant when he made his debut at the international level, because mainly because of the aggression. He brought a new energy to the Indian fast bowling in that era, along with Zahir Khan or Ishant Sharma. It might be Rudra Pratap Singh. It might be RP Singh. So he was one of the leading bowlers there, and he always scared the batsmen at the overseas tour, and that really gave an advantage for us playing against the formidable teams like South Africa. It might be Australia or in England in their home conditions, because you finally add a bowler who can look into their eyes and give it back to them with the aggression. In similar way, the Australian team fast bowlers or South African fast bowlers who used to do it for our batsmen. So that is something which I loved with Srishant. And whenever the captain needed the wickets and gave the ball to him, he delivered each and every time to the captain. So he had that enthusiasm, and I still see that aggression in him with all the practice videos he's been posting. He's still aggressive, and both verbally as well as bowling, he's still the same. But age is something which is on his which is not in his side. Might be one of the only thing which will make him difficult for making a comeback at the international level. Maybe IPL something he can be part of because of the experience, but at international level it's going to be a huge challenge. It will be difficult. Yeah.
seems to be his second
Come.
name. And if you look at the dance which he did after hitting a six against Andy Runnell, that tells you what kind of a man Srishant is. His recent quote that he wants to come back into international cricket and take off Steve Smith's wicket, that seems to be that's Shantakrama Srishant for you. What do you think, Vishak? Do you think he's going to make that comeback for him?
I think at the age of 37, it's a very good inspiration. He is a very good inspiration of making a comeback, and if he performs well, it'll be good. But personally, I feel like he's taking a place of a youngster, and I think a youngster might do pretty well. And then him coming at, he has a very low chance of playing in the international cricket at this stage because we have a good crop of young fast bowlers already. And I don't think India will look to include him at the age of 37, even if he performs well. Maybe, as Mithun mentioned, he could be included in the IPL setup. And one more thing, I agree with this aggression and stuffs, but as long as he's intimidating the opposition, that's fine. But he should not end up irritating his own teammates.
You mean to say he could be another Praveen Tambe, with age not being on his side?
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Coming to the current tournament, it didn't start off with a good note. Deepak Hooda versus Krunal Pandya. The media was all over it. Deepak Hooda walked out of the tournament. Do you think our domestic players also need to be, given education regarding how to handle media and how to present yourself and the team as well, like how our international players are educated?
So this is something which is not new, Akash. If I've seen in the past also, such things do happen. And the only reason these things are coming out nowadays is because of the increase in popularity of media, and players are able to easily interact with the media. So before there was a limitation in all such things. So that has given them the edge, and everything comes out within a second out in the media. So small post on Instagram or a Twitter by them will make a huge noise nowadays because of the vast use of social platform. So it was not handled properly, and definitely Deepak Hooda will be facing a heat of this in coming days, and he's going to learn. He's still young, and he's definitely going to learn. And Krunal Pandya, as you said, that he has some issues with the people management skills, because even he is new, and with the playing IPL, he's not yet been there. So it will take some time for him also to learn from that.
I personally feel it was immature of Deepak Hooda to just walk out like that. He could have handled the issue better. That he said he's a team man, and I don't think by walking out he was a team man. So he could have handled the issue better by playing for the team and then reporting it to the officials that he has been abused, so that the issue could have been handled much better than going to the media. So this is where I think I don't think any coaching is required. This is just having some common sense and thinking how to handle stuff.
Okay, so we have a RCB fan here and a former Mumbai Indians fan out here. So who would be your hot picks in this season's IPL 2021 auction?
For me, I as an RCB fan, I would love to see a couple of domestic players being picked who are capable, who have capability of supporting Virat Kohli at the top order in batting, and one of the good medium pacers who can support the overseas bowlers as a lead bowler for the RCB team. So that is something, and also a good wicket keeper. We badly need a wicket keeper, Indian wicket keeper especially, to lead the team. That is something which is area of concern for us.
Somebody like a Snell Patel might, just be picked by RCB. He seems
I'm
to be a good
thinking
keeper.
Dhruv Jorel, Uttar Pradesh
Yep.
batting wicket keeper, is
Okay.
someone whom will be a hot pick in this IPL, because I've heard a lot of good things about this wicket keeper batsman, and he has been consistently working towards it. Hope he'll be able to justify it, and RCB will pick him. Yeah.
Mumbai Indians are known for picking such youngsters, Vishak. So what do you think about Mumbai Indians picking up few youngsters from here?
I think Mumbai Indians, they might go for it. I think personally, I feel Ishan Porel will be a hot pick this IPL. So many teams might gun out for him. He was actually regarded as a red ball bowler, and even if you see his performance today, he picked up 4 wickets. So if he continues his performance this way, I think he has been in the fringes of the IPL for the last 4 to 5 years, and he has not been picked by the franchises. I think this year he would be a hot pick, but I don't think Mumbai will make any mass changes this year because they already have a pretty much settled team, and I think they might do some small hole plugging by picking up some good domestic spinners. Other than that, I don't see any major changes that Mumbai might do. But RCB might do well by picking Ishan Purul. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, so Mumbai Indians at same time have a very good bench strength, and also you have players like Anukul Roy sitting in the bench, waiting for the opportunity. That says it all because he is one of the highly rated youngsters in Indian cricket, Anukul Roy, and he is struggling to find a place.
Somebody like a dad's army, will they be looking to convert from a dad's army to a youngster's army by picking people from this particular tournament?
Yeah, so at same time, players like Watson and Duplessis are all aged now. So Duplessis might play this year, and Watson has ruled out. And Kedar Jadhav has already been. CSK have already said that they're not going to retain him. So the youngsters will be looked into and keenly watched, especially the TN players.
The CSK might be looking for someone like Hari Nishant, who can be pretty good. He has been pretty good with Dindigul Dragons as well. So I think they might personally go for him. And he's a pretty good player as well. And they might be looking for some good bowlers like Sonu Yadav, who's mainly from the Tamil Nadu circuit. So they might be looking at this domestic tournament to pick up some youngsters.
So this tournament is actually pretty important for all the players who are going to make a statement out here, especially with no other tournament in the domestic season, which might be the case. Syed Mushtaq Ali tournament is the only hope for all our players. So thank you so much, Mithun and Vishak. This was a wonderful session talking to you about Indian domestic circuit. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Akash. Thanks, Vishak.
Thanks, Mithun. Thanks, Akash.